Are you feeling overwhelmed and exhausted by all of the political distractions going on right now? Well, welcome to Unfiltered Dissent, the podcast where creators challenge the narrative and boldly speak truth to power. I'm Amy Zellmer, author, activist, and an unapologetic truth teller. On Inauguration Day, I had a moment of clarity. I can no longer stay silent in my dissent. I realized how many others felt the same way, and I wanted to create a space where we could amplify those voices together. I already host two other podcasts, but I felt compelled to start this one after my posts on Instagram started going viral. I was remixing content from other creators, people who articulated the frustrations that I felt better than I could do myself, and it just hit. The engagement, the comments, the sense of community, it was all undeniable. So each week, I'm going to sit down with a creator and change maker who refuses to stay silent in the face of rising extremism and MAGA rhetoric. We'll talk about the power of using your voice, the risks of speaking out, and the undeniable truth that dissent is democracy in action. No censorship, no sugarcoating, just raw, unfiltered conversations that cut through the noise. But when we speak up, we don't just resist, we create change. So subscribe now wherever you listen to podcasts, and be sure to follow me on Instagram at Amy Zellmer, and you can help support the movement at Substack at Amy Zellmer. Dissent is democracy in action is a powerful statement that underscores the vital role of disagreement and protest in a healthy, functioning democracy. In a democracy, the voice of the people should be heard, and dissent, the act of expressing disagreement or protest, is one of the clearest ways to exercise that voice. It's the heartbeat of progress, ensuring that the system remains accountable to its citizens and doesn't become stagnant or oppressive. Democracy is not just about voting. It's about an ongoing conversation, a constant push for justice, equality, and fairness. When we look at history, dissent has been central to every major movement for social change. From civil rights to gender equality, from climate justice to LGBTQ plus rights, progress has often been spurred by those who dared to question the status quo. Without dissenters, who challenge harmful policies, raise awareness of injustices, and demand better, the democratic process can become a mere formality, detached from the real needs of its people. But what does it mean to be more involved? Well, here are a few ways that we can all contribute to keeping democracy alive through dissent. 1. Educate yourselves and others. Dissent is most impactful when it's rooted in knowledge. So stay informed about the issues that matter to you and your community. Whether it's researching policies, understanding the intricacies of government, or simply listening to underrepresented voices, education is the foundation of informed dissent. 2. Engage in conversations. Speak up in your circles, whether that's with family, friends, or on social media. Change begins with dialogue. Disagreeing respectfully while seeking understanding can open eyes and spark larger movements. 3. Vote with purpose. Voting is a fundamental right, but it's only the beginning. It's important to research the candidates, support grassroots organizations, and push for legislative reforms that align with the values of justice and equality. 4. Participate in protests or movements. Public demonstrations, petitions, and peaceful protests are time-honored forms of dissent. If you're able, join or support protests that speak to issues you care about. Showing up is a visual representation of your stance and can spark a wider call to action. 5. Advocate for change. Reach out to your representatives, write letters, send emails, make phone calls to advocate for policies that reflect the will of the people. Your voice, especially when it joins the voices of many, has real power. 6. Support grassroots organizations. Many grassroots organizations are at the forefront of pushing for systemic change. Donate, volunteer, or raise awareness about these causes to amplify their efforts. And 7, follow and share information on social media. A great way to stay informed and engaged is by following the creators that you hear on this podcast on platforms such as Instagram and TikTok. These creators are often at the forefront of sharing vital information, raising awareness, and mobilizing communities. By following, sharing, and engaging with their content, you're helping to amplify their message and contribute to the spread of knowledge and action. Dissent is not about being oppositional just for the sake of it. It's about holding those in power accountable, making sure all voices are heard, and demanding a system that serves everyone, not just the privileged few. When done thoughtfully and with purpose, dissent doesn't tear democracy apart. It strengthens it, ensuring that our collective ideals of fairness and justice are more than just words on a page. I hope that you will join me on this podcast adventure, and I will see you all soon.